Hey, good evening. I couldn't resist and wanted to make one more Henry McClure live here in the Glass Houses studio. Did you know the Glass Houses studio is part of the Ryan Mowinkle empire of commercial real estate? Hey, uh, Mo, go ahead and subscribe to CJ Online. I don't have time to screenshot the paper and send it to you. Man, I'm going to raise your rent. Hey, how are you tonight? Uh, I've just, I've been just sitting here doing the math in my head. And you got to understand, I didn't just sit back and like come up with every resentment I could to run against Kevin Cook and bring up how the Greater Topeka Partnership basically was his campaign manager. Okay. And so I don't know that Kevin was more popular than me. I think that it was the people voted along the party lines in my district, and the those of not of my party, uh, independents and Democrats, uh, far outweigh the Republicans. And really, there's going to come a point in time, and it's really today you're going to see this, that it's not really the Republican Party anymore. It's the Make America Great Party. I think it's probably has more Republicans in that. But it was really interesting today watching this news piece lecturing the senators from red states that if you don't get on board with Trump's cabinet, you're all going to get primaried. And I'm telling you something, if you want to run for office and you see my name on the ballot, well, put your name down too. Let's have a run. Let's have a contest. Steel hitting steel. If I ever elect to run again, I've contemplated. I'm not a fan of this guy. I'm not a fan of him. I think just as an average Joe, man, how could you not like him? He's a good guy. He's personable. I find him very friendly. I'd rather go talk in front of city council than the county commission. I mean, when you look at sometimes it just looked like his bobblehead's going to explode down at the county commission. I swear. But I want to talk about this. I want to continue down the lines of trying to educate the community that aren't familiar with Go Topeka. And, Mike, a friend of mine, said, Henry, sometimes you talk in riddles. But I've lived this for a long time. I've lived it. I was part of Yes Topeka to get, because originally we didn't have shovel ready land. And that was the whole thing. We've got to have shovel ready land. Doug Kinzinger put out a call for shovel ready land. And I at one time had 200 acres under a development agreement. And that went poorly until they bought my land. And that was one of the best days I've had since I've lived in Topeka. One of them. I've had a couple of more. But so what's just happened most recently, and what's really fun is to watch them, because now they're saying things to get ahead of me, how to justify, uh, because their whole statement has always been, well, if I do it for you, I got to do it for everybody. Well, now they've got it to where, well, we did it for that guy, and this is why we don't have to do it for everybody. Man, they're getting clever. And, as soon as I get a little better studio around here, I'll have a guy, hey, play clip number 4, and then we'll get Miss United States or whatever. We'll get them up there, and we'll show what they said and when they said it. When I had a motorcycle during the summer during Watergate, the whole thing was, What did you know? And when did you know it? And I'll tell you who I miss in this whole thing is old Joe Ledbetter. Um, but, guy had a kid, wants to mellow out, has got a nice wife. It's fine. But I'm not going to give up. I am not going to give up. So now, so every time I've come up and wanted money, well, that doesn't create jobs. That doesn't create jobs. Chick-fil-A, the 85, uh, 90 employees they've got on the boulevard, well, those aren't jobs. But if Chick-fil-A were to put a slave center out there where you're moving boxes in a distribution center, well, those are jobs. I mean, the hypocrisy of the whole situation. And now let's go down the line of I've come up to the table every time, and is it really only the people that are members of the Greater Topeka Partnership? And I think it is. I absolutely think it is. The construction dude up there was one of Cook's big campaign donors, and I'm not saying arm's length that might uh, that might be nice to help the fella. I guess he's financially strapped. I don't know. Uh, I'm drinking Dr. Gundry's Vital Reds. It's good in the night and in the morning because I've still got a little work to do, but I'm going to work the rest of the night from home. Um, but it's not the will of the people. When we voted for the economic development, we voted for economic development and a bunch of roads. And what they're doing now is not economic development because when we originally passed the economic development, it was for getting property shovel ready and providing infrastructure. And then Go Topeka has added the jobs thing. And they've twisted and turned the whole thing since day one. And it's not right. It's like you may hate Donald Trump, but you got to start hating every American. If you're going to hate, well, go full on hate. The dude won the popular vote, and he seems to be very popular even amongst those that aren't of his party. And it's fun to see the people like Zuckerberg and all they're all playing the game. And you know something? Maybe it's just that I haven't played the game well. I'm just trying to appeal to the common sense of people that I grew up with. I was born and raised here, and there's a lot of nice people in this town. And I don't know. I guess we let the carpetbaggers come in and just take over, but whatever. We've got to evolve, but and be more diverse. Yes, we do. We've got to. McClure's we never believed in separate but equal, and uh, that was a benchmark change for the community. I would just love to telepathically. I need to pray and talk to my grandfather, but look what integrating the schools did. It created a mess in the education system for all these administrations, and then the people pushing uh, the the agenda of being, because really what they did is they just did separate but equal out in different school districts. They really did, and we're so top heavy. We're almost as top heavy as Go Topeka in the administration world, just about. And Molly was out there saying her overhead right now is 2.5 million. Well, hell, one person can give away money, but let's go look at what we've done now, because here I want to make a prediction. I'm going to write it on the wall over here so we can refer to it, or I'll type it up and as soon as I get my printer working. But So one of the next things they're going to do in the Hall of Mirrors, of smoke and mirrors, is they will go Topeka will offer a grant to somebody in the engineering industry to take the space that they just approved. So now you've got to understand the taxpayers now are going to do build out for a use that a company that's in that business couldn't get anybody to come to Topeka for years. Where you wasted $1 million over there. You guys got to start doing the math. You do. You got to start doing the math because it's not adding up. This makes Elon's job. I mean, I'm calling in Elon. We're going to come in here and we're going to do. And whatever was that? Did you see Marcus Miller say, hey, if you're stealing from Topeka, you might as well leave? I would just love to know he was directing that to. Directing, you know, who was he talking to? It sure isn't me. Ah, yeah, Pee Wee Herman, really basically the campaign chairman for bobblehead. Here, I'm gonna break it down to riddles. I, I kind of like that. Pee Wee Herman, in this corner, I'm out spending my Whataburger commission, which actually does economic development, to run against a guy that's he's put in my way like a chess piece. Just to man, I would hate to sit behind that guy in school. You'd never seen the blackboard. Oh, it's a little funny. I don't care what you say. Um, so it will. We just spent money. Well, then now they'll start saying, well, the contractors that did the build outer jobs, they'll just change the whole narrative. They will change the whole narrative to fit their shoe. You know, they're like cobblers of shoes that not everybody gets to walk in those shoes. But I'll tell you something. Karma has a interesting way of working itself out, because I'm telling you, and I've been around and I've been in a lot of different places. What goes around comes around. And I'm going to talk about my dear friend. So my Mace Rich guys that tune in, remember our old buddy Claude Kaisers? Skip. I hated that name, Skip. I'd always call him Claude. But old Claude did design review for all the malls, and when we were starting out, and and he was tough. I mean, we lost deals, and that kind of was the end of the road for me. I'm yelling at this nice fella because I can't get deals. I can't get deals done through management, and we were in the day where you got to start like lightening up on some of the plan approval. You got to make it inviting. Sometimes, and Mace even said this: the downfall of my company will be the bureaucracy. And I'm telling you something: the downfall of Shawnee County today is the bureaucracy. But here's the thing: we've got non-elected officials doling out money that the the chess pieces vote on automatically. And it's funny to watch the dance because you know how it's going to end up. And people are afraid. People are afraid to say no, except my friend over uh, in Oakland. She's not. And anyway, I got that off my chest. I'll sleep better. I'm live. Henry McClure saying Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night.